Yeah, I don't think that's bad at all.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Oh,
How about you?
Halo here. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Halo,
Little Halo.
Halo.
Halo, Halo, Halo.
All right. Got some big news today. We got some big news today.
Yeah, some pretty crazy stuff going on. We're live right now, by the way.
All right, big.
Um, let me see here.
Big win in fantasy this week for you. Huge.
Big, must
Keeping
win.
keeping the playoffs alive.
Yep, the playoff hopes are alive. They said it couldn't be done.
They said it couldn't. They
Um,
had you. They had you at no chance.
absolutely, absolutely. There's there's good fantasy LCS teams and there's bad fantasy LCS teams, and there's 50 miles of crap, and then there's mine. You know, but we're in. We're it's a win and in situation.
Yep.
Punch the ticket. And
You're,
the impossible dream is what people are calling it. So
you're giving yourself a chance.
yeah, that's all I need.
You got to give.
Don't let me.
Got to give yourself.
I mean,
a
I said it
chance.
last week. Don't let me win one.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna start recording.
If I have extra notes for the show, do you want me to put that in Discord or just text you?
Yeah, put it in Discord.
Copy.
On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we are going to be talking about how the console wars may be finally over, as Xbox seems like they are sending out their exclusives to everybody and their mother. Disney and Epic Games have inked a massive agreement to bring pretty much every property that you know and care about into Fortnite, and a whole lot of esports news to cover as well. Strap yourselves in, keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times, because we have got a doozy for you. Let's ride. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. Your boy Papa Dom. We're back live, direct, and handsome, and you can call me Diamond Dommy from now on. You already know what the deal is. The Diamond Dogs are barking, howling at the moon. The chains are rattling. You can hear the howl at the moon. You see the beware sign, and still, the people are talking, Tiggy. People are saying that I reinstalled. I mean, the legacy might be overstated, but reinstalled Hearthstone off the bench, 3 years on the bench, basically. That I haven't played since they reworked the rank system. I don't even know how the rank system worked. 72 hours to Diamond 10 from the ground floor of the ranked system. Come on,
speed running this thing for you.
listen. And the ranked ladder just turned over. It's every month, so it just rotated to February. So I basically have almost an entire month to go from Diamond 10 to Legend, to top 3,000 in the world.
Who's to say?
Who's this? I mean, crazier things have happened. Cole, Marco, welcome. I was feeling down. I was feeling out. I was feeling like there was some last night. I was feeling myself. I was ready to go. I was like getting a little fired up. My head was spinning. I got into bed. I downloaded Hearthstone on my phone, and I was like, maybe I can squeak out a win. Maybe I can sneak one in. I went on a 4-game losing streak, back to Diamond 2.
Oh no!
I was at Diamond 1. I'm sorry, Platinum 1 with 3 stars, which means you just need one win, winning in. And then you're locked to it because your new floor is Diamond 10. Darth Xanatos, woot woot, first time being able to catch you guys live. What's up, dog? Thank you for jumping in. First time chat. I love to see that. Zamph, Kentiggy explain the Drake situation. I'm out of the loop. Yeah, we'll get to that. Darth Xanatos, let us know how you found us. Would love to hear how you found the podcast. Love that you're checking it out live. Feel free to leave a voicemail, 617-701-7678, and we'll react to it when we get to that part of the show. And yeah, I'd love to see people piling in, so let's fucking go. But yeah, so last night, I'm ready to go. I'm locked in. 4-game losing streak, dude. 4-game losing streak, and I was like, I don't even know why I kept playing. I should have just. My Kindle was like in the other room. I couldn't sleep. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta play it. And I went to bed at Platinum 2 in like 2 stars. I ended up losing one more, but I went on a fucking run this afternoon. Went on a run for the ages. People were forfeiting. I had one who, like, I got my setup. I got like my ideal, like, first 3 turns. Board is on lockdown inside of 3 turns. FF. I was like, this might be the one.
That's insane.
I mean, what an accomplishment.
I'm just saying, R.I.P. Toby Keith, one time for Toby Keith. I was not feeling great this morning when I got up. I was feeling a little hopeless. I put on Who's Your Daddy by Toby Keith, and I started feeling like myself again.
That's amazing.
So I found you on Spotify from like the 3rd episode. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that, man. That actually makes me feel really great. It's always great to see. People, kind of crossing over to the live show, and really appreciate you listening. So thank you so much. That makes me feel really good, honest to God. Thank you. Definitely needed that today for sure. Are you guys talking about Drake tonight? Yes. Tiggy will be addressing the Drake situation in detail. We already went over that. Zamp was asking about that, and yes. But we'll get to that. Maybe we'll make that part of the weekend recap. But Tiggy, how are you feeling? I know you're fresh off a little road trip back from the Waste Management Open. How's everything going? Enough about me. How about you?
So, I mean, I just want to say congratulations. Let me be the first one to say congratulations to Diamond. I mean, such an accomplishment. You just got right back on the horse like you never left. Kind of like the game of lacrosse. It's a game of runs. It's a game of wins, game of losses. So, big loss streak. You got to mentally reset. A lot of wins coming the next day. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
A lot of things have happened since last week. Currently today, we went to the Waste Management Pro-Am out in Scottsdale. That was fun. My friend Troy, shout out Troy, best friend out here. He's got a couple buddies from his Discord that first time they met was last year. They came to the Waste Management with us and stuff. So like this is a gaming group that's been gaming together for like a decade. Never met each other.
Wow.
And they came in, visited, and now they're visiting again for the weekend and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It's a super awesome time. So it's cool how meeting gaming people.
Yeah.
In real world, it's pretty cool. So it was an awesome time, with the exception of it completely hailing basically as soon as we got there. And
Yep.
Then we waited in line for some food. The food ran out as we're 4th away from the front. And me and a buddy decided, you know what? We're here, we're waiting. We got nothing else better to do. And we get like drink tickets. So we were just serving beer. We were serving beer to people. We were like, hey, anyone need a beer? And we were just running beers back and forth, just doing the good deed. So
thank you for
it didn't stop there. We were serving the heroes as the Beeros. That's what we were calling ourselves.
Listen,
so,
I mean, you don't. It's that you heard the call to serve. It's just the type of guy that you are. So I can't say that I'm surprised. Just serving at this is when we talk about threats, both foreign and domestic, that's what we mean. The domestic threat of not being able to get a domestic beer in your hand at a domestic golf tournament. Night Hollow, thank you for the resub, and glad to see you back in here as well. Waste Management. Tiggy said that he might have been, he was thinking about maybe tailgating at the 16th, trying to get in there, 3 a.m. I mean, I don't know. I'll pay for your gas money.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your gas money.
We'll have to see. Maybe we'll get some live coverage on Saturday. It was really cool though. We went to the store and we got to see Frankie Borelli from Barstool. He was there. Francis was there for a little bit, so we got a picture with Frankie. So that was really cool. Always like a surreal feeling to just meet the Barstool guys again. So it was really cool.
That was cool.
And then
great podcast.
Yeah. Shout out golf. Not another golf podcast here as well. And then, I mean, since we last talked, I just happened to mess around and, become a platinum platypus in League of Legends for the first time ever. So
big.
There's no fucking stopping right now. Okay.
I mean, the ranked ladders are just quivering in fear right now.
I mean, they can't I mean, Dom, they can't really handle us right now.
No.
We're streaking and there's no stop in sight.
It's suffering from success is what some call it. I mean, it's really just. I mean, honestly, I was happy with platinum. I don't know like what the percentile is for. So my understanding of the Hearthstone ladder is that it used to just be 50 to 1. Now it's bronze. Well, it's still 50 because it's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, 10 each, which is 5. That's 50. So it still is 50 to 1. Diamond is like top. That's like top 12, 15%, or maybe even top 10% of the player base. And then after Diamond 1 is your top 3,000 in the world, and there's like 5 million people that play the game. So, I mean,
you're right there.
I mean, how many people do I know that are platinum and league ranked? Exactly one. It's you. You're the one.
What can I say? You know, some might call it high elo, some might call it mid tier. I like to go for the before the high elo. That's
Platinum's
what I
platinum. Platinum's platinum.
Platinum's platinum. Did it all solo dolo. You know, straight platinum, no features. Call me J. Cole, solo dolo, Kid Cudi. You know, there's a lot of nicknames being thrown around, a lot of analogies. You know, the faker of the bot lane.
People are saying
the new Ioki, the NA carrier. I mean, there's a lot of nicknames being thrown around. So,
I mean,
just pick one that sounds good.
I keep my phone on loud. I'm just saying. I mean, I know Chris is in here. I'm just saying, I don't know if he's in here scouting, for League or Hearthstone content creators, but Diamond Dogs, they're barking. So, but love to see the energy, love to see the passion. You know what I mean? And the competitive fire is underneath me now. It's bubbling, it's burning. So
yeah,
I honest to God think that I have a shot. I have a shot at the very least making Diamond 5. If I really fucking grind it out, and part of me is like, I'm hooked now. Like getting to that in like 4 days, having the whole month ahead of me now and being able to get to Legend for the very first time. You should start an old people team, Dom, like the Valorant team from Japan. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a variety comp team, though. Like, I'm going to represent the Hearthstone side. Tiggy's got League. We're going to get some other, geriatric gamers. You know what I mean? So, when you're able to, like, finish your kills in COD ranked, maybe you can join. Ooh, Pokemon Snap, that's pretty good.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Dom, while you have so much time ahead to gain ranks, the other side of the coin, a lot of time to lose that rank as well.
Yeah. So. And now, so tell me this. Now, with League, once you hit Platinum, can you de-rank out of Platinum, or are you stuck? Can you just get to, like, the bottom of Platinum and that's it?
Oh, no. So when you get to Platinum, you have, like, 1 or 2 losses where you kind of, like, have a floor for the first couple games. But, no, I mean, I could fall all the way down to Iron. If it happens. The split is all the way until June, I think. So tons of time to D rank, tons of time to see success. That's what I'm trying to look forward to, and I'm excited to hit Emerald City soon, and eventually become a Diamond Dog myself, and might fuck around and get Masters. I mean, who knows? I mean, Zyra right now is undeniable. And I got the pocket high me pick if Zyra gets banned or nerfed to oblivion. We'll see. So
I mean, I hope not, and that's kind of what I'm worried about too. I'm worried about nerfs. Let's talk, on the horizon, nerfs. There's plenty of time left in this month for them to just nerf my favorite decks into the ground. That is what I'm very afraid of. But I did look at some of the patch notes from like 2 weeks ago before I even started playing again, and they already did nerf. This is like a kind of a post-nerf version of this deck. I didn't even know that. One of the opening cards got nerfed already, so I hope that they don't do the same thing again. I don't know what the fuck they would nerf. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 that I can see them nerfing, but there are definitely way worse decks than the one I'm using. So we're praying for no Druid nerfs in Hearthstone. We're praying for no Zyra nerfs in League, and also that people just are not smart enough to ban Zyra. because I mean you don't want to be hurt, you don't want to hurt them too bad with Jaime.
Yeah.
Once they see that kill participation, once they see the damage that you're going to be putting up, they will regret that, and then they'll never ban Zyra again.
Yeah, see, that's the exact thing I'm kind of going through is where I'll be able to play Zyra one game. Next game, it's almost like they're target banning me, like I'm Tower 1 or something. Next game, Zyra ban. And I'm like, sometimes I'll let it go through and I'll play Jaime and my bot lane will pick Smolder or some dumb champ that doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, it's just me down here, whatever. I'll pump up the damage. All right. We'll probably try to win and, we'll push the Nexus. But half the time I'll just dodge sometimes. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just sick of it. I'm dodging. I'll take the 5 LP loss. Let's reset. I'm going to grab I'll grab a little ice cream bar and we'll reset and we'll get fucking right back in there, So
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Shout out Chris, mid lane and Mumu. I mean, I don't even know what I would do with the Mumu. I don't even know what a Mumu does, but he's a sad little goblin ghoul and, sad little champs usually do the most damage. So
They
I'd
do.
probably be a little worried.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I know I've underestimated Ziggs far too many times only to get fucking thrashed by him. So, but yeah, let's just briefly touch on
son,
anything that
where'd
might
you
have happened
find
over the weekend,
this?
because that's what we do every episode. But honestly, nothing really big for me. Obviously, got back into Hearthstone, which is great because I am old and because I have a child. Anything that I spend time on video game wise pretty much needs to either be playable in bed or playable in like 30-minute increments. And that's exactly what Hearthstone does. So I might have to just go like buy a new iPad or something just so I can like really kind of enjoy it, because playing it on my phone sucks. But what else? Anything? Was there really anything? The Skull and Bones beta came out, a game that I really did not know existed, like actually was real up until like a month ago. I downloaded it. I did not realize that it's not out until tonight. It's coming out in like a couple hours. And I did play some Halo Infinite. Rockin505 mentioned that in the chat. I did play some Halo Infinite. The new season is out. It looks great. It feels great. The new map is awesome. There's a new map called Illusion, and 2/3 of the map reminds me of like the pit from Halo 3, if you remember that. It's like a big kind of warehouse type deal. And then the middle lane, right down the gut from flag to flag, is one big active camo.
What?
Yeah, so if you walk through it, you're active camoed, but if you sprint, obviously it reveals you.
Shows.
But you could theoretically, if your team is like asleep at the wheel, you could grab their flag and then just like walk through the middle lane. It never happens like that, but like it's it's about like 95% of the map on both sides is like the pit. There's a lot of elevation. You're not like just running straight into each other. It's really like the most fun CTF map in Halo. Honestly, I think it's really great. And it's a 3-4-3 map. It's not like a Forge map or a community map. It's a 3-4-3 made one. But yeah, the mid lane is sick, and it's got like an active camo, and there's some platforms and stuff in it too. So like there can be some sniping action going on there. It's really cool. So would definitely recommend people checking into that if you haven't played Illusion yet. It's a cool map. Throw on CTF on Illusion, go crazy.
That's cool. Yeah, I've never seen that. Anytime I play, I just think of Halo. I just think of Griffball and just just like how fun that mode is. As just like you just jump in, you don't even need to know what the hell's going on. You just jump in and play.
Yeah.
And these kind of like gaggy map designs and stuff remind me of just like, it just seems fun. Like when you hear the description, and so many games aren't catered towards like actual fun gameplay.
Yeah.
You know, whether they're trying to do too much competitively, whether they're trying to make like too many vantage points and stuff where it just like kills the gameplay and everyone's camping. It's like, this is just a fun mode where it's completely open, but if you walk down the middle, you will be fully camouflaged.
Yeah. And it's like, but it almost has kind of that like League element to it too, where like, if you're in the bushes and it's not warded, because the majority of the equipment drops are I can't remember what it's called, but if you shoot it at a certain place, it'll bounce once off a wall, and then it creates like a little bubble where it'll show the Spartan on the map, even if they're cloaked. So it's like an anti-cloaking thing. So it's like those are your awards for that. So somebody at 343 was playing a lot of League and was like, how could we like use this like stealth like gank element and put it into a Halo map? And it's really good. Q, thank you for the resub. Cool. What was the weekend like for you, Tiggy? Anything good?
That'll be good. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty low key. Nothing much. Just played some League, got platinum, so I was fucking pumped off that. I've been playing a little COD. Played a little COD ranked, and been having a little bit of fun with that. I would love to say a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I've only been having a little bit of fun, mainly because I'm just like playing with my friends. The game is it's brutal to play. I'm gonna be honest. It's brutal to play. Everyone has a trophy. There's not a perk so you can see the trophies on the ground. So half the time I can't even see the trophies because there's so many bodies littered around. And then when I try to throw a nade or try to throw my own trophy, that trophy destroys my trophy and I'm damaged to 1 health. And then I don't know what's going on, and then I die in a bullet. And that's frustrating. The spawns stink, the maps stink. There's a lot of issues with the game.
Yeah.
And they just had season 2 start today. Season 2 started today. A couple new maps are going to enter the pool, which are exciting.
Okay.
Brand new maps.
Yeah.
Not maps that we had 10 years ago, so that'll be cool.
That's good.
They're trying out some new weapons, so I think that'd be cool. I think it's on the up and up, but it's frustrating because as like just an avid COD fan, it stinks to get on that and play it, and I'm just like, I had a mental breakdown like Tyler One, the famous one where he was just like, how did it even make it in the live servers? Like that rant.
Yeah.
I was literally giving that rant to my team, talking about terminal hardpoint because it kept spawning 5 feet behind me when they have the hill on the other side of the map. And I was like, it made no sense. Thankfully, that hard point's out. This is, just the monthly Call of Duty rant, but I want COD to be good. I want COD to be a success. I still watch the CDL, even though I don't like the game, but I still watch it because it's esports and I fucking love esports.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree with you. I mean, I was watching a video from a friend of the program, Sally as a Dog, and he posted a video being like, this is why I'm not playing Warzone this new season. And like he was like, the main reason is that COD and new seasons don't mix. And anytime a new season rolls out, something breaks. And it's infuriating for like 3 weeks until they fix it. And then we do the merry-go-round thing up until the next season when something inevitably breaks again. So I saw some tweets about not MP50, it's like an I don't know, something. Somebody was tweeting about like the gun meta and ranked and how everybody's running around with the same gun now. I don't know if it's new for this season or what, but seems fun. Seems fun.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I mean, everyone just runs kind of with the MCW. That's just like the standard AR. And they nerfed it a little bit, but the headshot multiplier is still in. So it's like if you hit 3 headshots, they're dead anyway. We've been using this SVA gun, which is kind of like an AK-47, which the pros don't use. It's probably like G8 or something. Yeah. And we just use it because it's just fun to shoot. It's
BP50.
Yeah, BP50 is the gun. I don't know. SVA Cheese, Chris in the chat. So yeah, SVA I assume is G8. But it's very satisfying to kill someone. And I enjoy that. Like I enjoy when a gun just feels good to use. SVA Cheese, I'm not in the league. Okay, I'm just.
Well, if you wanted to feel good or you wanted to have fun, you would be playing a different game. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm excited they're actually trying to implement more weapons into the ranked pool.
Sure.
Or not the ranked pool, but just competitive pool.
Yeah.
Because it's we see cringe in the chat. It's cringe when you see the same goddamn gun every time.
Right.
I remember, shout out Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Might have been one of the least favorite games to play multiplayer.
Yep.
It was also the same year where they had Modern Warfare Remastered if you bought the game. Yep. So everyone was playing that. They tried to implement at the start of the competitive season where only one gun could be used by that member of the team. So 4 members to a team, meaning like it's like only one person can use like the MCW. One person can use the SVA. One person can use like the Rival 9 sub. One person has to use like the UMP sub.
I kind of don't hate that.
I think it was so cool, like how they did it. But obviously throughout the game, you could pick up guns from the ground. Okay. But like you have to be locked into that gun as your primary weapon for every class or something like that. And I'm like, that's really cool. Because imagine, there's 4 guns. Let's say there's 3 really good guns, but the 4th one is not that strong. But let's say you are the best with that 4th gun.
Right.
Like you have that niche skill with that gun that no one really wants to use, and it's hard to make a big impact, but you're like the only one that's really, really good with it. Your stock rises tremendously because they want you to run that role.
I mean, I like
And
that. I think that's
I
I
think
think
it was
that's a much better. I don't know. I think it's a lot more interesting, if anything.
that.
Because then,
Yeah.
like, you kind of have to force like a meta to take shape, where it's like, all right, if we can't use 5 of the same gun, we have to make a meta. Like, all right, what's the next
Yeah.
best one? And it's okay. Who's the best insert gun name here player in the league or whatever? I mean, I don't know. I think that's a very interesting. Even if they didn't limit it to 1, but if they limited it to like I don't know 2, like 2 MCWs, 2 SVAs, and a BP50 or something like that per matchup,
Yeah.
and then you can see where like the mismatches are and stuff like that. It kind of forces you to play a little bit differently and not just like running around and holding corners and stuff like that, you know. But yeah. So
Yeah.
speaking
basically-
of
yeah.
speaking of Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft, pretty interesting developments this week, as it would appear that Xbox is going to be shopping around its exclusives. There were some leaks that Hi-Fi Rush was going to go to Switch and PlayStation, and then there was also some leaks that Starfield was going to be going to PlayStation. And then, you know, hilarity did not ensue. People were kind of pissed about it. You know, some Xbox like hardliners were like, this sucks. Like, I'm going to cancel my Game Pass subscription. A lot of PlayStation people were just like, now they're pretending that they really want to play Starfield when they've been shitting on it for the last 2 years, ever since they found out that it was going to be PlayStation exclusive. And so much so was the discourse that Phil Spencer himself, the head of Xbox, said that they're doing like a press conference next week to address everything and talk about the future of it. And then there was additional leaks that Xbox Game Pass is going to be rebranded into Microsoft Game Pass. So people are kind of curious as to what, if anything, that means. So some are saying, is the Xbox dead? Are they just going to be making, software from now on? Is Microsoft just going to be software only? No more Xbox consoles? Others are saying that's not even remotely true. They're just going to ship out some exclusives, just like PlayStation has done. Tiggy, I don't know what your take on is all this, but where your preferences are, if anything, but kind of interesting all around.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting because, I mean, just through our whole lives growing up, I mean, there's always been like console wars to some degree,
Sure.
with the certain exclusivities and stuff. So it's kind of wild to see that like some brand new exclusives are just immediately going to be available for PlayStation allegedly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what Phil Spencer says. And yeah, it's an interesting future direction for Microsoft. Because I mean, if you look at the total sales of Microsoft, Xbox, whatever, 180 or whatever, well, I don't know what number they're on. X, S,
Yeah,
right?
Series X, yeah.
Series X. That and then the PS5. I think like PS5 has outsold it like 3 times.
Which is wild
Right,
because
like
you
it-
couldn't even find a fucking PS5 up until like 3 months ago.
Yeah. So I mean, they kind of got devastated basically throughout the console wars. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll just instead of making the consoles, maybe they'll just make it available to PC, which they kind of have been, and
Sure.
they'll still sell Xbox Series X games
Yeah.
via. I don't even know if they still do discs nowadays, but or just make the digital content available for those systems still in there. They don't sunset them, but they keep those older consoles and they make that portions
Yeah.
available for those that software, and then they just stop making the Xboxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's tough to imagine. I mean, I can't really imagine it happening. Q, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, you absolute handsome legend. It's tough to imagine it happening, but then I'm sure that people said this about Sega, like, 15 years ago or whatever, whenever they stopped making hardware and exclusively went to software. Then again, Microsoft is like the biggest company on earth. So it's even harder to imagine when it's not just like a video game company, but like the biggest technology company out there. There were also, there was like some quotes that people dug up from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who had said, like, if I had it my way, there would be no exclusives. This is like from a couple years ago. Like I don't think there should be any exclusives. I think we should just like sell to everybody and like make money instead of like pigeonholing ourselves. So who knows? I mean, but now it's like this Xbox civil war. Like, I was listening to the Iron Lords podcast, friends of the program, and King from the Iron Lords podcast, who's like the big, he does like the Xbox Frontline podcast. He's the biggest Xbox guy I know, and he was saying like he's basically was like hinting that there's like this Xbox civil war happening. And he's like, if these guys win, like it's not going to be the platform that we actually want. And if these guys win, meaning like Phil Spencer and them, like we're actually going to have Xbox as we know it. So I don't know. It's a tough situation to actually make heads or tails of because we really don't know what's happening. I just want to play video games. I don't really care where I play them, so it's whatever. But I also did just buy an Xbox Series X like 6 months ago, so I'd be kind of pissed if like they just discontinued them.
Well, I mean, would you be pissed or would you be like, damn, I got like one of the last ones, you know? I mean,
Oh
it's a
yeah,
relic.
true. I'd be on Facebook Marketplace tomorrow. I'd be on Facebook Marketplace tomorrow, and I'd be like, well, gonna go buy a PS5. Do you want one of the last Xboxes ever made? Here you go.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I hope somehow this enables NHL video game to be on PC. I don't know how that would be connected at all, but I hope somehow they find a way to put the NHL game, which is the only EA sports game, not on PC. I wish they would just put it on PC.
Hey, listen, I mean, sometimes things get put places that you would not expect them to be. Like, for example, a Pokemon on a 100 Thieves hoodie.
Who's to say? I mean, that first. So I have very strong opinions on the collab. What are your initial reactions on the 100T Pokemon collab coming out in a couple days?
Okay, so 100 Thieves Pokemon collab. It was teased only a couple of days ago, I feel like, and then we finally got our first look at the collab between 100 Thieves and Pokemon. 100 Thieves, probably one of the more well-known, probably the most like well-known US-based org. Especially when it comes to merch. And then Pokemon, obviously, probably like the most profitable brand on the planet. They have dropped they're about to drop their Pokemon collaboration where they have t-shirts and hoodies, vests, and like these Letterman jackets with Pokemon on them. And there's also a fleece. There's like a Pikachu fleece. So, there's been some criticism. There's a pair of pants too, just so we know. Just so we're clear, there is a pair of pants. My biggest criticism of this collection is that 100 Thieves has a collection with Pokemon, and exactly 0 items feature Team Rocket, who are Pokemon thieves. It just kind of feels like a no-brainer. And it is extremely odd that they did not even remotely, like, I don't know, they have like this Letterman jacket one. Like, they should have slapped the Team Rocket R on that. And, like, I mean, that's a banger. You have a banger right there. They've always had, I mean, the streetwear stuff and, like, the fashion things that they do. I can't say that I've had lots of agreements because I just feel like I mean, 99% of my wardrobe is, like, black graphic t-shirts. So, I can't really say, hey, I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to fashion. Then again, 100 Thieves shit is not cheap. The t-shirts are like, probably $40. The hoodies are probably going to be like $85, maybe more. It's Pokemon stuff, so it might get marked up. And the t-shirts are just like plain t-shirts that say 100 Thieves, and then there's like a Bulbasaur, a Squirtle, and a Charmander on it. I love Pokemon. I would love to see more Pokemon stuff. It's cool that like this collaboration is even happening, but I can't help but think that there's lots to be desired with this. Tiggy, would love to hear your thoughts.
So I had initial reactions. Obviously, High Ground, which was a child company from 100 Thieves originally. Yep. I think they recently sold to another company. But High Ground came from 100 Thieves from Nadeshot, and they just recently had a Pokemon collab to make like a couple keyboards and stuff, sick mouse pads, I mean, same price as like any, I don't know, like 65%.
Yep.
Ridiculously high in keyboard and stuff, but it was like super cool. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, like you said, it's very hard to get the Pokemon IP on anything.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's super cool. Perfect. That's High Ground. High Ground just came out with Yu-Gi-Oh! A couple months before.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Keyboards and the Pokemon stuff were amazing.
Yeah. So awesome there. So I'm like, I wonder if like 100 Thieves will come out with Pokemon. Like, that'd be amazing. And then I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, 100 Thieves Esports tweeted out a video of Sniper their top laner
Yeah.
with a Thieves Charizard hoodie, and I'm like, and they said tomorrow ... And I was like, holy, like, is this gonna be like a surprise drop for 100 Thieves Pokemon? It was just like the Heist, their video production thing for League of Legends. Still very cool, but so I was like, this has to be coming soon because they wouldn't just show the graphic. Then like less than a week later, they announced this. They announced like a short turnaround. It's like, hey, a couple days, Pokemon's happening. It's like, holy shit. So I'm looking at the book, and I'm not a big flashy guy when it comes to clothing.
Sure.
You know? I wear like I go out, I'm wearing a plain like soft t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wear out. I don't wear many graphic t-shirts that have like a lot of stuff on the back.
Yeah.
100 Thieves usually does like a lot of anime stuff. I don't watch anime, so I'm not like super into like the craziness everywhere on the shirt.
Sure.
So looking at the items, I mean, the things that I want are the short sleeve shirts with the 100 Thieves with just the like Pokemon starter on the front. That might seem basic. That might seem like lazy design, but it's something so small and so like simple, and I'm trying to think of the right word, like not loud, but it's very I'm trying to think of the word. Brutal. I can't think of this word, but just something so subtle, just something very subtle that represents both 100 Thieves and Pokemon that I can wear out. Shout out Chris in chat, subtle, that can represent both brands. And I think that's cool. You know what I mean? So like, I don't need everything to be super loud when I'm like wearing a brand's shirt or anything like that.
Sure.
Like, that's me. So I'm very excited for this collab. I'm probably going to get like 2 shirts and just call it a day and probably pay, $120.
Yeah. I just don't understand like it seems like they just kind of threw some clip art of these Pokemon over existing 100 Thieves things. Like the t-shirts, it's just like a plain 100 Thieves t-shirt, and then there's the Bulbasaur in the middle of it. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Bulbasaur, and whatever, but I don't know, it just seems like such random placement. The Windbreaker with Blastoise on it is kind of cool. It's got like the blue camo type stuff. Like that's more what I'm talking about. And the Pikachu fleece thing is cool. I don't hate the hoodie with Gengar on it.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, it just seems like they just kind of randomly slapped them on there. There's some really interesting pieces, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of a lot of them is like I don't know. And I love the subtlety. Don't get me wrong. I don't want like 900 Pikachus all over the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just can't help but think, I don't know. This is why I don't own an esports organization and why Nadeshot does. These are decisions that happen that are made by people who know fashion better than I do. So, but then again, people are just going to like buy 100 Thieves shit no matter what it looks like anyway. So, but like the LA Thieves, the new LA Thieves stuff is so cool looking. Like the typeface is so unique. They even have one that's like Raiders inspired, which looks fucking awesome. It's just like the Thieves stuff is so like hot and cold for me. Like the hunting one, like the Malbon set, we hated. We were talking about that. Yeah. But then like the new LA Thieves shit, like the one with the target on it on the back is slick, dude. That's like my type of shit. And then the one with like the kind of retro looking lettering. Amazing stuff, and then you have the Pokemon stuff, which is just kind of like, meh.
Now,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little different. It might look like they didn't put but how much do you think they just didn't have a lot of creative control with a collab like this?
True.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I think Nadeshot made a long video and was kind of like, listen, everyone's lucky to even see this collab.
Right.
It's been going on for a year plus, and I think he was kind of like, we tried to like basically use some other stuff, and this is fucking all we got.
Yeah.
So you can either bitch about it, or you can just like, hey, if you want it, feel free to buy
Shut the fuck up and give us your money.
Yeah.
No, and
yeah.
Sure, and I can see that, and I can definitely appreciate Nade being defensive of his organization. Q, thank you for the additional gifted, just to keep Chris involved here. Thank you for that. And yeah, I can appreciate the passion. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there with you. Go ahead, Nate, defend it. And I would rather him do that than be like, ha ha ha, money, 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 money. But, you definitely can't say that there isn't something to criticize. And then thank you for your 7th gifted sub to Rockin'. Appreciate that. Wasn't there another big Pokemon clothing collab that was criticized? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure there was like some weird bougie Pokemon stuff that the Hundreds X Pokemon. And I gotta look that up. The Hundreds X Pokemon.
I was laughing hysterically though when you put that post and was like, I can't believe there's no Team Rocket.
Dude.
And I was just like, there wasn't a more thing of like, fucking preach. Like, this is like perfect tweet. How did they not think of it?
Right.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
and you put it, I'm like, oh my God.
I think the 100 stuff is kind of cool. This is actually more what I'm looking for. Like the simple one with like the little Pikachu face in there. It's adorable. The little Letterman jacket. And at least like these are unique images. Like yeah, I like these. And they have the Ash hat on there. Like, hold on, I'm going to put it in the chat.
That is cool.
Like, they have the little Ash hat. Like, that's a no-brainer. They got the keychains and stuff. I like these. This is fine. If this is what they looked like, I would have been like, hell yeah. This little Pikachu cardigan, come on.
I like the socks. You get 3 pair of socks for $36.
You know, I mean
that's
that's
what
$6 a sock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
But
yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, it would have been cool to see them use maybe the Pokemon font. I don't know if that was like off limits. I don't know if they tried to do something like that, or just how they have like the Hundreds with the Pikachu logo. Maybe they tried to have like the Pikachu logo in the Thieves or something like that. And I probably just think that, because I mean, we've seen so many outlandish 100 Thieves apparel drops and stuff throughout the years. I bet they tried a lot of things. It would be very cool to see.
They probably did. Yeah, I'd like to see the outtakes.
I'd love to see the coming months of if anyone has any sketches of things that like got declined and stuff.
Yeah.
And that'd be really cool. But I'm excited
Pokemon was probably like, you
those.
need to incinerate all records of that and then destroy the computer and then also murder the person who designed them so that they never leak.
What we really need is, well, the only way we might see this is if 100 Thieves lay off more people, and one of those people are the ones that have those sketches, and then they go scorched earth and release them. So unless we get that, we might not be able to see.
Well, depending on how the collection sells, we'll find out. I hope that they don't fire anybody else, though. That would definitely suck. But yeah, we need more cool gaming merch, and it's like I would rather just buy like a shirt off of the Pokemon website than. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like these just look so uninspired is the word that I'm looking for. Like, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your thing, great. I'm so happy for you. And I would love to see more like Pokemon stuff out in the wild. But I don't know. It just seems like uninspired is the word that I'm looking for. But then again, I'm sure that there's only so much that you can do with, the biggest brand on the face of the globe. Somebody actually shared with me a graphic of how much money Pokemon pulls in versus like Marvel, Disney, stuff like that, and it's fucking staggering. It's like Marvel, Disney, DC, like other Nintendo stuff, like all put together, and then it's Pokemon, and like the size of the Pokemon bar is bigger than all of them put together.
Yeah. Well, until Power World comes around, until Power World next year.
Yeah, here it is. It's so Looney Tunes, Harry Potter, Call of Duty, the MCU, and Mario combined, as of 2023, bring in $140.3 billion a year. Pokemon, annually brings in $140.12 billion a year by itself.
That's why, and that's probably years without even selling like a game, like a new game. You know what I mean? Like not every year a new Pokemon game comes out. It's every like now 3-4. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's
and it's like the average number of revenue sources are like 3.8 per thing. So like movies, games, shows, whatever, and then for Pokemon, there's 7 different revenue streams. So you figure games, merch, other collectibles, cards, all kinds of shit. It's the anime, the animated movies, lunch boxes. I mean, the shit is just everywhere. So,
everywhere.
yeah, I suppose you got to handle with care when it comes to that license.
Yeah.
What else we
But
got?
on top of that, I'm excited. I'll be in the virtual checkout line on Saturday at 1 p.m. my time, ready to battle with the bots and snag up that. I'm not even gonna try to get that Charizard hoodie. That's like Scalper City, and I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I don't really wear many hoodies except in my house or at the gym.
Yeah.
So I will probably just be trying to get 2 shirts, Squirtle and the Pikachu, and hopefully I can get lucky and get those. So
I mean, I wish you good fortune in the wars to come.
yeah.
What else we got? There was something else that we wanted to talk about, and I can't remember now.
Well, one thing I definitely want to talk about was League of Legends esports and a Goliath named FlyQuest.
Yes, we do need to talk about FlyQuest. Yeah, set the table. I just gotta refill the water real quick because I need to. We gotta talk about FlyQuest and the Rookie of the Year.
As Dom's refilling his water, I mean, we have a Goliath of a brand, FlyQuest, who has not only just changed the entire terrain that is NA League of Legends, they have done so in a way where everyone really didn't think of them much except as a dark horse this year. They basically gave the trophy to C9 without even the season starting because EG fell apart. They got JoJo Pin, allegedly, the best mechanical mid laner available, on top of their already stacked roster with Berserker, Blabber. They picked up, I think it's Vulcan he was on EG as well last year. So the fact that C9 is extremely struggling and FlyQuest has come out and completely dominating, I believe, with a 6-1 record through the first 3 weeks, is nothing but incredible support that they deserve, as well as like tremendous amount of applause. And there's only 2 more games for the next 3 weeks somehow. Which is just strange in a sense for League of Legends. But FlyQuest has just been dominating. They have veteran Jensen in the middle. They have Inspired, who has won an MVP on the LEC circuit years ago. He was MVP of the summer split last year, I believe, for EG.
Yep.
And now he is putting up insane numbers for FlyQuest as the jungler. Their top laner, Bwipo, who has a long tenured career and loves to play just like weird meta champs like Olaf. He brought Olaf back to NA. They have my favorite player, Busio, in the support role, who was playing the most ridiculous champs. He has already said he's going to be playing Pyke this week no matter what because he hit 10,000 followers.
He said if I hit 10,000 followers, I'm insta-locking Pyke this week. That is so good, dude.
And then the rookie, I believe it's Masu.
Masu, yeah. So let's just talk let's talk about how this bot lane, Masu and Busio, is NA born and bred.
Yep.
An all NA bot lane in Busio, who's Canadian, and Masu, who is American, and NA talent, dude. This is NA grown talent, which we love to see. Obviously, still nothing but love for the rest of the team. But this is what we've been talking about, is like finding and growing this like homegrown talent and not just like importing players from other leagues or whatever, or like having them sign ridiculous deals over here just to like uplift a team. Everybody wrote this team off. This is probably the youngest team in the LCS. The basically a whole new look roster, I think, except for Jensen and Bwipo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But and they swept the Super Weekend, 3-0 last weekend, back-to-back wins. NRG, who was the next one down, completely shit all over themselves, and now they're 4-3. So FlyQuest is alone at the top at 6-1. It is. I mean, they were tied, I think, 5-1 with NR. Were they 4-1? Were they 4-1 or? I think they were 4-1 with NRG or something like that on Friday, because they both won, I think, their first game, and then NRG dropped 2 and FlyQuest won all weekend. Just all they did was dominate all weekend. And listen, if they haven't captured the hearts and minds of you and your fellow league fans yet, they better, because we've been saying it. I mean, for like 2 years now, we've been pulling for FlyQuest. Didn't quite go the distance last year, but I think FlyQuest is winning Worlds. You heard it here first.
Yep.
I'm just letting you know. Just remember where you heard it. Remember who you heard it from. Remember what gaming podcast you heard it on. But FlyQuest is winning Worlds. At the very least, they are punching a ticket to Worlds this year, and I hope they make an absolute show, because we already know LCS is better than LEC. We already know that they're the best Western region. And listen, I think they can take a couple wins off a few LPL and LCK teams too. Any given Sunday. Hungry dogs run faster. We know that. And we get some hungry dogs on that team. So
all it takes is one. I couldn't agree anything more with what you just said. Yeah, it's exciting. They are playing solo queue, or not solo queue. They're playing Champions queue every night too. So because the Champions queue is like the top, I don't know, 750 or 250 in the whole region and stuff of NA. And when games pop and stuff, there's automated bots that tell you who's in the match and stuff like that.
Yeah.
FlyQuest has been playing against like FlyQuest for nights on end. And you might think, how does that happen? They're playing with their coaches. They're playing like, they're not even like a couple people are dueling up and stuff, and all of them are getting in the game. Like there was a game, I think, with like 8 of the 10 members were FlyQuest members and stuff. So they are single-handedly holding Champions Queue to a super high standard, and they're playing against each other. They're playing different lanes. And like you said, NA talent, Busio started out actually as a mid laner for 100 Thieves in the academy.
Yes.
And then he made the switch to support to play on the main team last year. Kind of had a rough situation. Doublelift came over. So, it's kind of like a Tom Brady-esque thing. It's like, hey, buddy, it's not going to be your time to shine. You're going to support Doublelift. Now he's got his wings. He's flying like a peacock, all right?
100%.
And they're dominating Jensen. Not enough things can be said about Jensen, who is, a long tenured veteran, but he has been dominating in the mid lane.
Absolutely dominating. Rolling.
Dominating success. And we're both in a LCS fantasy league. Yeah. All of the top members, I think, in every single, they're all FlyQuest.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane. I actually I think I dropped Masu because they have Cloud9 on the second. Oh no, wait, no, I don't think I dropped him. I can't remember who I've got now. But no, I still have Masu. I definitely did not drop him. No way. But yeah, I had picked up somebody just because I know that they have. But Masu's got. We have Immortals Progressive and Shopify Rebellion this weekend. Both of them are bottom of the pack, right next to Dignitas. Dignitas looks horrendous. I don't know if they're just like mailing it in or what the deal is, but holy fuck, they're falling apart.
Dignitas, we kind of talked about it last week when we were doing the jersey tier and stuff like that. Dignitas is a full Korean import team, and they are very good micro, no macro. They don't know what the hell is going on the map. They have zero clue. They lost 2 games this weekend, and they were up in kills in both of them.
That's insane.
They would get a pick and then not be pushing the objective or not be pushing lanes out and stuff. Like it's like they had no clue what to do. So it stinks because that team has some potential. I think they could be a middle of the pack team. They could make a little run in playoffs maybe and get top 4 or something like that. So it'll be interesting. I think they're better than teams like Immortals. I think they're better than like probably like I think they can be liquid on any given day. And with the way NRG's playing, it's like they can steal one from NRG.
Sure.
I mean, Cloud9's playing like fucking shit too, so they could beat Cloud9.
Yep.
Hell.
Yep.
Shopify Rebellion a little scary because I think they have 2 wins, but their 2 wins are Cloud9 and NRG.
Yeah.
Who we're supposed to be the legit big dogs of the league. So FlyQuest shouldn't take them lightly. That I'm guessing the game that Busio is going to try Pike is going to be the Immortals game. I'm guessing.
That's the one where like if you're gonna like fuck around, they're gonna play. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, hey, don't take your foot off the gas. Give the people but also give the people what they want. And you know what? If you want to stun a little bit, I think you've earned it. I mean, you have 1 loss all season. I think you've absolutely earned the right to stunt. And listen, if he wins and puts on a show as Pike,
That'd be amazing.
that
That'd
would
be
be
amazing.
that would be remarkable. Also, love the little inside baseball. I know we're not doing player picks on the sleeper app, but I mean, if you had him, if you were him, and you just insta lock Pike there, and then he goes off, I mean, it's an instant win. So
Drew, I would never. I have too much respect for the league. I would never do that as a Busio LCS fantasy owner. But now you put that little thought in my mind. So now I'm gonna have
I don't know.
weighted decision on Thursday night. To
Is everybody paying attention? You keep them. Make sure they pay attention. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we bring him back for the playoffs or something. Maybe we bring back
True.
the picks for the playoffs. I don't know. We're kind of we're going through this as we go. We're feeling around as we go. But yeah, it's me and Stills this weekend. 2 1-2 teams winning in. I was top 3 in points last week. You were number 1. Stills was the worst team last week, so we'll see.
He's on the decline.
Yeah, he's on the decline. I'm on the upcline, the incline, if you will.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I had the best, obviously the best bot laner in the league, which is also the best bot laner in the actual LCS, and probably will be the best bot laner at Worlds, which is Masu, also Rookie of the Year.
The only thing that I think could hurt him is at MSI and Worlds is that LCS is playing on the live patch.
Yeah,
And no other region is going on.
True.
So when they go to like these international tournaments, MSI and Worlds, they might have to like be like, hold on, okay, guys, rewind to a month ago because that's the patch we're gonna be playing on.
Right,
So-
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
well, we've got a couple months till MSI, so I mean, hopefully they can do some future proofing and planning for that. I mean, I don't know if they have the option at like their facility or like if they can just log into a different build of the game where they can kind of like see where those tweaks are. But yeah, I hope that doesn't bite them in the ass when it comes time to like compete more broadly, because they're going to be playing with different rules or not different rules, but like different buffs and nerfs and stuff like that. So, I know we're coming up on the hour here, so let's get into some voicemails. I would be happy to extend it normally, but
Pick up that phone and talk to a dad.
all right, 617-701-7678, the WGG Internet Dad Sauce Line. Leave us a voicemail and we'll listen to it live on the show. And Marco, yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Epic Games Fortnite thing, but we will definitely talk about the Epic Games Disney collaboration thing next week for sure. Like I said, if I didn't have to go help with the baby, I would happily go into a little overtime here. Steve, welcome. We miss you. We miss you dearly. All right, first voicemail. What do we got?
Coleman here. Hope you guys are doing well this week. Wanted to leave a voicemail because Dom told me to, and I have to listen to him. But anyway, I'm playing Jedi Survivor now. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I am glad they ironed out those performance issues. My question to you guys is, since Disney's acquisition of Star Wars, what do you think about them axing a lot of the Legends books that before were considered canon and now just calling them Legends and not considering that Star Wars to be canon, even though they have definitely pulled themes from almost all the books about like the Thrawn trilogy and whatnot. So I would just like to get you guys' input on that. I don't really agree with it. I think they should have just left it as canon, because the Knights of the Old Republic stuff is some of my favorite Star Wars lore. So I hope you guys have a great one. Have a good one.
Tiggy, my assumption is that you don't have a position on this, but
yeah, absolutely. You take this as the resident Star Wars.
I mean, I think it's a good thing overall, because if they're going to commit to making everything connect and making everything make sense, then you have to understand that there's basically 30 years of bloat to get through, and everything, like, if you think about what the previous canon system was with Star Wars, is it was so bloated that they had like 5 different tiers of what was canon and what was not. So they had G canon, which was George Lucas canon, which is like, if it was touched by George Lucas, it is the official thing. And then there was like B and C canon, which is like comic books, spin-off shows, video games. and then there was like D canon, which is like fan fiction and like shit that's on like, you know, bubblegum rappers and like SNL skits and shit like that. So the reality of the situation is like nothing's really real unless George Lucas says it is. So I don't know. It's tough to like reframe that and make it make sense. I like what they're doing where they're giving the directors and producers of the new stuff creative control to bring in some of the more quality versions of the canon while leaving out some of the cruft, if you will. There's your vocab word for the day. You know, I mean, I didn't grow up on the extended universe Star Wars stuff. I just watched the movies. I never read any of the comic books. I never read any of the expanded universe books as a kid. I liked the movies, and I liked playing outside with my toy lightsabers, and I liked the video games. That was basically it. And as far as I was concerned, that was all that really mattered. I do think that they're already kind of getting into this new kind of pretzel where there is so much already because they've been cranking out so much Star Wars content, which is not a bad thing. I fucking love Star Wars. My son's entire nursery is Star Wars themed. But now there's already so much stuff that it's like they're kind of focused on still all this like world building and making sure that everything makes sense and is connected rather than like they're focused on these like scavenger hunts where it's like, ooh, this might be hinting at this thing rather than telling a good story. So I think they should just focus on telling good stories, and I think this whole like expanded universe, extended universe, multiverse shit has to like take a backseat. Because I could care less if there's like a scavenger hunt where somebody's helmet is in the background of a shot, or like they name drop somebody from a video game that came out 30 years ago. I just want like a good quality Star Wars story. That's what I want. So, but having said that, Coleman, regarding Knights of the Old Republic, my opinion is that it's canon until it's not. So until they release something that contradicts Knights of the Old Republic, which they haven't because it's like 8,000 years prior, then it's still canon. So you can still believe it's canon. I still believe it's canon. It's canon until it's not. So until they say that never happened, it still is. So we have another one too. This one, there's no transcription available. I hope it's not spam, but it is a local area code. So hopefully it's.
There we go.
Hey boys, Joe Bigelow here. Long time listener, but I haven't been able to call in since I've been in prison for
Can't hear it.
10 years for Class A possession. I'm calling from the can now, so
I
make
can't
sure
hear
you
anything.
don't round on me. I know where you guys live.
Is it going through on your end?
Question, what's your go-to trash talk in-game? The boys and I have been playing Madden in here, and I don't want to fight, but I also want them to think I have some sort of backbone. Keep it up, boys. Keep burning.
Could you hear that part?
I heard just a tiny bit at the end.
All
Yeah.
right, let me see if it works again. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey boys, Joe Bigelow here. Long time listener, but I haven't been able to call in since I've been in prison for 8
Oh,
or 10
muffled.
years for Class A possession. I'm calling from the can now, so make sure you don't
Yeah, I
round
can't
on
hear
me. I know where you guys live.
Can you hear it?
Quick
Or no?
question, what's your go-to
No,
trash
not really.
talk in-game?
No.
The boys and I have been playing Madden.
That was Joe Bigelow, who apparently was calling us from prison. And he wanted to know what our go-to trash talk is in game. Him and the boys in the Slammer are talking about their glory days, playing video games, and they want to talk about. They want to ask us
Okay.
about our
Trash
go-to trash talk in game.
Our go-to trash talk. I think this was asked on the pod a couple. Oh, go-to trash talk. Go-to trash talk. It would always be something like I don't know. I feel like you can always go to like you know, I'm taking your freaking lunch money right front. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That I'm not very big into swearing when it comes to trash talk.
yeah.
I try to say like weird stuff like that, you know. So yeah, maybe like, you know, taking your lunch money right from your mother's hands or something like that. I don't know, something like that. You could say something.
I just like a good emote. I mean, for me, I
Yeah.
feel like I don't have a whole lot in the tank when it comes to trash talk. I mean, if I'm playing like, I don't know, Fortnite or Halo or whatever, I mean, I'm basically just talking to myself because there's no like proximity chat.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're dead. I'm better than you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. I mean, if I want to be like toxic playing like Hearthstone or something, I'll hit somebody with like a thanks or like a sorry. Or no, sorry's not in there anymore. They used to have sorry as an emote, but they must have took that out for like toxicity. But there's
Yeah.
like well played, thank you, and then like wow. Like wow
Yeah.
is a good one. So like if somebody fucks up, I'll hit them with a wow, and it's like astounding, and like if they like fucked up, you know what I mean?
That's pretty good.
So if you get like a
League
good
right
combo
now,
off, and then you hit them with a wow, it's like, But
yeah. Hulo's being touched on the league. Usually, if I get like first kill or like bot lane, we get the first like wipe down there. I'll just put GG, like, and I'll start counting down till 15 where they can forfeit. I'll do that occasionally, or I'll just do like XD. Shout out Troy, Master Tier League Legends player. He's just been telling me like, just type XD. They get fuming.
XT. Yeah, you got it. It's a mental warfare. It's mental warfare. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that. But thank
So,
you,
yeah.
thank you for that caller for leaving us a voicemail from I would imagine is an episode of Gangland. So thank you. Also, hello Juju and I think I saw and Rockin'. I said hi to Rockin' already though. All right, that's all we got. Leave us a voicemail, 617-701-7678, and we will listen to it live on the show next time. And that is all we got, so we're going to go ahead and land the train. Tiggy, any shout-outs, any last-minute thoughts? What do you got before we sign off with the good people here?
Just been an incredible time. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Excited for this weekend with my friends and internet companions.
Yep.
And we're gonna be golfing with friend of the program, friend of real life, Michael Grove, LA Dodger
Let's
pitcher,
go.
on
Let's go.
Friday, and we'll be live streaming on Tiki Nation Twitch.tv/Tiki Nation Friday. We'll also
Love
be
it.
doing a little night golf Saturday under the floodlights in Scottsdale.
Ooh.
So a little double feature stream this weekend of some golf, and yeah, it'll be a good time. So tune in if you're not doing anything.
Beautiful. Shout out to Michael Grove. Juju said he's going to be out in Scottsdale this weekend for the. Oh, you're going to Waste Management? That's awesome.
Shit, maybe we'll have to meet up together Saturday, Juju.
Yeah, hit him up. Love to see the link ups. Absolutely love to see that. As for me, just big shout out to everybody in the chat. Absolutely love seeing the chat active. It hasn't been this active in a while, so appreciate you guys. Thank you, Q, for the 7 gifted. Shout out Juju. Shout out Rockin'. Shout out Steve. Shout out Marco. Shout out Chris. Let's see. Shout out Q. Who else we got in here? Who else was there? There's a couple of people in here. And then also Zamph and then Darth Xanatos, who jumped in. Darth Xanatos was like one of the first chatters, and he said, or they said, that they are a long-time listener from episode 3 on Spotify, and this was the first time that they were able to catch us live. And that's amazing. So really, really big shout out to you. Thank you so much for making the crossover and jumping in. We really appreciate that. But yeah, that is all. Shout out Chris. I just shouted you out again. There you go. Shout out Chris. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/wickedgoodgaming. Make sure that you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever you get fine podcasts. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us a comment. Make sure that you leave us a voicemail, 617-701-7678. We'll listen to it live and react on the show. We love you so much. And we'll see you next week.